Arrows don't have a flat trajectory, and knowing the distance to the target is imperative for an accurate shot. Laser rangefinders have made finding the distance to the target much easier, but learning to judge distance without the aid of a rangefinder is still an important skill. Bowhunting is a dynamic environment, and there are situations when a rangefinder just takes too much time. If you can quickly judge the distance to an animal, you can take advantage of more shot opportunities. It's also a handy skill to have if you're interested in 3D archery. That's because most 3D archery competitions don't allow the use of a rangefinder. Recall judging is looking at a target or an animal and a number just pops into your head. You look at that deer in the distance and boom, 35 yards just pops in your head. Judging distance is a skill just like shooting your bow, and it just takes time and practice to get good at it. You can practice recall judging by using a 3D target. It's really helpful if the 3D target is the same size of the animal that you're going to be hunting. So if you're hunting white-tailed deer in Texas or Florida where their body size is small, use a deer target with a relatively small body size. If you're bow hunting elk or something larger, use a larger target to practice judging distance. And if you're interested in trying 3D archery, having a variety of targets is a really good idea. Ground judging is using the ground between you and the animal or the target to judge the distance. You kind of visualize incremental distances between you and the target. A good way to practice that is to have again a 3D target or an object that you want to judge the distance to, and then set up a bunch of cones or arrows or just something to mark distances between you and the target. Set them at a set increment. In this example, they're 5 yards apart, and you can notice that 5 yards close to you versus 5 yards closer to the target looks a little bit different. Through repetition and looking at that over and over again, you can begin to visualize what 5 yards looks like, between 40 and 45 yards. That difference versus the difference between 20 and 25 yards. And that can be extremely effective for getting those last few yards correct. Another take on ground judging is finding the halfway point between you and the target, judging the distance to that halfway point, and then doubling that. So let's say you have a target at 40 yards, and you judge the halfway point to 20, you double it, and you have 40 yards as the distance. Another great method for practicing judging distance is to always have your rangefinder with you. Whether you're in your tree stand with nothing to do, you can start judging trees, stumps, logs all around you, practicing that judging distance and checking your guesses with your rangefinder. If you're on a hike, bring your rangefinder with you and do the same thing. Just constantly judging distance will really improve your abilities. If you practice these techniques, you'll be surprised at how good you can get at judging distance. And it can make a big difference in your ability to take advantage of those quicker shot opportunities. I hope this video was helpful. Be sure to subscribe, like, comment, and we will see you all in the next video.